Guys, this is a quick insert to the beginning of the video. I will be streaming tomorrow on the 7th, November 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and with me, I will be having LaughterCraft. LaughterCraft is the guy that's been making the Fanimated series of No Man's Sky, and he will be on the show co-hosting with me while we do the subcast. You want to get on the show? Just follow the links below to the Twitch, add me on Skype, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for coming back to another live broadcast of CobraTV, and tonight I have the most awesome John Doe with us.
Shagadoo, how are you guys?
Shagadoo. So this No Man's Sky subcast is going to be about the news that we all know, everybody knows. I'm not trying to rehash or cap anything, but the features that are going to be possibly implemented into No Man's Sky that we don't know what they are, and that these are things that they are the most requested. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have people come on and talk about what they think those features are, and I don't know. I don't want to create a lot of speculation. This is just wishful thinking or shaking the present, see what might be inside. I don't want rumors to start from this video or stream that we're doing. So it's just a bunch of fun. If somebody says something, don't get too excited and think that that's going to be in the game, because we don't know what's going to be, what the features are. For all we know, it could be just adding the ability to be able to paint your ship, or take an animal off the planet. Who knows what they are? We don't know.
For real, guys. Please don't take this literal. That's the worst thing possible. Starting overhypeness.
And people got to remember, CobraTV, it's not a news channel. Sometimes I title my videos News and Updates because it is news. And I do have a job where I work 17 hours a day, so I can't upload it as soon as the news hits because I'm usually at work. But I always try and at least put it on my channel because it's a No Man's Sky fan channel, so I think it needs to be like a little spider web and collect all the things that are out there, but whatever. So anyways, we're going to take some callers here.
Who's the first guy?
So we're going to call this guy the Atlas. So John, don't mention his name.
All right, the Atlas. I like that. It's a very good code name.
Yeah. And he's got a picture of an atlas, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool picture. Mr. Atlas, perfect. Thank you for coming on CobraTV. How are you? So what could we call you besides Mr. Atlas?
Just go Mike.
Mike? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
It's more simple.
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, we're doing good, man. We're just really excited about what some of these features could possibly be.
Yeah, so something that nobody really saw, actually. It was exactly 49 seconds within the trailer. 4 ships fly by. The first 2 have an arrow, but the second 2 have 5 tiles above them.
Right.
5
those
white tiles.
Symbols. Yeah.
Are we sure those are faction symbols?
Yeah.
I was thinking. Okay.
During,
you mentioned that.
E3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay. And then, you said it during just a little earlier. Is the taking animals off planets, and in one of the videos, someone said something about cross-pollination, and he was like, hell no. But I think that's definitely something that might happen, like bringing an animal someplace and seeing how they do there.
I think it'd be kind of cool to get animals to fight each other.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. You build just a nice pit for animal fights, take bets.
Yeah. You said that because in one of the interviews that Sean Murray did, he actually said one of his favorite pastimes is to blow holes into the ground to let animals fall into them. So I would imagine that you could probably blow a hole into the ground, let an animal fall into it, and then let a scary one chase you. Use your jetpack, go over top of the hole, and then see what they do to each other.
That's so true, yeah.
I mean,
hilarious.
We're not thinking, sometimes I don't think we're aware of the freedom that could possibly be in this game of things that we could do that maybe they didn't foresee.
Yeah. Especially with the modding PC community, dude. There's going to be some crazy things out there.
That's right. Yeah, modding has been confirmed. He's going to be giving them tools to mod, so that way people don't, break the game. It's about he wants people to be able to mod, but he doesn't want that someone discovering every single planet in 1 second, just by using mods. So we'll have to wait and see what they come out with.
Yeah. Randy Macho Man just flying around everywhere every time he lands. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Well, I think in most games they have usually mods or single player, so that might be more of a thing rather than bringing the mods onto an online. Because he did say there will be single player. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like with a game like this, especially since everything is procedural and like the smallest thing could affect it, I feel like I don't see too much modding online. Like you'd have to do it offline. Like anything, and I'm like, even if you do mod offline, I'm curious to see how that affects the universe, because everything can be set off by just the switch of a hair of something so tiny. You know what I mean? So like, how like very careful do you have to be when you're modding? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as a feature, what that you would like to see in the game, what's the most wanted feature that he's either said no to in the past or that he's never even talked about that you would like to see in the game?
Honestly, probably building a space station.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
He liked that idea.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That'd
be pretty cool.
That would be so rad. Especially if the space station could generate income for you, that would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
It really would. There's also in the trailer, John Doe, you've been wanting to see inside of a trader ship for a very long time. And we got a chance to see one in the beginning of the new trailer. A lot of people think it's an explorer, but you could tell it's a trader just from the squared frame, the windows. But and look at how much room you had in that thing.
Yeah. It stores so much stuff.
I love how like the top has like there's panels up top with screens. It's like you feel like you're in a big cockpit, and I love that. Like dude, that was perfect for me. Honestly, that did it for me. I've been wanting to see that for so long, and getting to see it just like it tickled my pickle. It definitely did.
Well, I see a lot of questions around where people are still asking to look around the cockpit, and the answer is yes, because we could see it. When Ryan was playing it with the IGN first, he would go to move and use the wrong joystick and would accidentally look. And also the older trailers, you could see him like directly looking to the right at something. So yeah, you can look around. I don't know how much, but you can look around.
Yeah. Well, the very last clip was kind of like the boxy one, like the freight ship.
Yeah.
But it was more rounded, and I don't know. It would look more of like that could have been an exploring thing. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like the dashboard of it too. The green, and the way it kind of had like a honeycomb design to it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see. Like we've seen all these cockpits here in this last trailer. So they're all procedurally generated itself. So I can't wait to see what different cockpits we're gonna come across.
Yeah, totally, dude.
He mentioned.
And what's great? I'm sorry, dude. What were you saying?
He mentioned one a long time ago in a Game Informer about how you could come across a cockpit that would be almost like a direct rip-off of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
What I find very interesting is that like most of the ships that we've seen, these are all the ships that are like on the outskirts of the universe. Like I want to see the wilder and weirder ships in the center. Like what kind of cockpits those will have, and like what kind of thrusters they'll look like like red thrusters and like just different types of things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also with the space stations, because those are all procedurally generated too.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do hope to they at least get when they do give us another trailer, they show us things that are a little. I know things that we see now are very alien, but I want to see something just like bizarre. Yeah. Like you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, we see stuff like that now, but I'm thinking crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking like once it gets closer to the center, you might see like let's say a lava planet, and then there's a lava whale that just comes up out of nowhere.
Yes, you see stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, we've seen the sandworm, so we know things like of that size and that strangeness are going to actually exist. So seeing some kind of like creature coming out of a lava, that's not even stretching it by any means.
Yeah. We did get a first look at the four-legged sentinels with without the animation, like just the
Right. Yeah. And it was really weird how they were. The player was heading towards that ruin, and it seemed like all of those four-legged sentinels were walking with him in the same direction. It was kind of weird.
It makes me wonder. You know how like when they're in space and you could call the AI wingman to come be by your side?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, can is it possible that you could call them to, maybe even come with you or like carry resources with you? Because that still boggles my mind why they were walking with him. I don't know. It's just really weird.
Well, yeah, because just looking at them, it doesn't even, it looks more like a scout rather than something that would attack you. It doesn't look like something that has weapons on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know either. But, what's really cool is one of my subscribers on my YouTube channel, which I've been super busy and I haven't been able to comment back to everybody. But one of my subscribers said, what if some of the the alien wildlife would be kind of like half tech, half, flesh.
Like cyborg.
Yeah, like a cyborg.
That would be interesting. I don't know, man. I find it. At first, I was disappointed that they pushed it back to June, but now, after a while of really thinking about it, it's amazing because the game already looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine where it's going to be in 8 months of production. It's just it's ridiculous to think. Well, how much more could they add? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, Mike. I'm going to go ahead and take another caller. There's a couple of people waiting in line. I really thank you so much for coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, bro. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Good guy, Mr. Atlas Mike.
Yeah, Mr. Atlas. All right. Before I take the next caller, I do want to bring up one of the other most requested that I have not mentioned yet, but I've been talking about ever since, 2013, 2014, is Project Morpheus. PlayStation VR is what they're calling it now. I've got videos over a year old showing Project Morpheus being in the Hello Games studio, moved around in several different locations. So that is another possibility. They did not mention it at this Paris Games Week, which was very PSVR concentrated with games and hyping it up and everything. They did not mention it with No Man's Sky, but it is one of the most requested I've seen around, people wanting it to be with compatible with No Man's Sky, or people hoping that that's not the reason why it's delayed. But it is definitely one of the most requested.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, VR and No Man's Sky go hand in hand. You got a space exploration game that's first person.
All right, so we're going to take another caller here. We're going to take a few more callers. Let's see. Boom. We're going to take you, Connor, if you're still listening. Connor, what's up, buddy? Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, man. It's nice to be back.
It's always a pleasure, dude. So, here's a quiz. What have we been talking about? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I can't. You saw that in the
chat. But no, seriously. What are the features that you think are they're working on? Some of the most requested features, and what would you like to see?
One of the things that I've seen a lot is building, and I kind of like the idea, but more temporary buildings, nothing permanent. Because I kind of like how Rust does it a little bit, how you can kind of make prefabs.
Yeah.
And kind of use those prefabs to maybe make a little hut or something to stay in for the night, or something similar to that. That's just one of the things I've seen.
Yeah, I can see that. Something like you said, temporary. Because what No Man's Sky offers is the ability to role play beyond your wildest imagination. Now, with role playing, it would be really cool for some of the people that do like to role play and pretend that they're this or that, or this is happening or that's happening. It'd be cool to build a house, and we're not talking like survival level like Empyrean or anything like that, but just to build a house to help you kind of with your role playing. And I know that sounds stupid to a lot of people, but there's a big community out there that really wants to use No Man's Sky as a backdrop for their own story.
Yeah, I totally agree. That whole time I was nodding my head but
Yeah.
you couldn't see that obviously.
No.
But no, I totally agree with that. Like, I think there's a lot of people that are going to see this element of building, and they're going to see that, and they're going to think, oh, I can easily make this even more a role-playing game, and this will be great for this, like my channel. I can implement this really nicely and easily, and I think it's going to be great for a lot of people.
Exactly. All right, so we got building. That's what you think is the most requested, right?
Damn, it's really
One
up
of the most
there.
requested
Okay,
things.
what would you like to see in the game?
Oh, I was waiting for this question all night. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Total War games, like Shogun and games like that.
No.
Okay, well, you know what Risk is, right? The board game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically like Risk, and it's similar to Risk, only it's large scale, and you go around taking over territory and stuff, and instead of like rolling dice, you actually play out the battles. So let's say I have like 100 samurai, because the Shogun game that I have, it's during the Japan times, back where they had samurai and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you only have 100 samurai, you could beat 1,000 samurai if you're strategic enough, but in Risk that's very unlikely. And I kind of want to see something like that in No Man's Sky, where you have a bunch of factions and kind of like a separate mode where you have like a small galaxy, or maybe just a solar system, where a faction is assigned to this certain area of the map, or I guess the galaxy, and they can take over territory, and you can like recruit people, like you can recruit more people if you have more planets, and different things like that. I mean, I we'll never see that coming in a million years from No Man's Sky, but if that was in this game, then this would be the best game ever for me.
Right.
What about you, Cobra?
What
do you want to see in this game?
I would like to see the ability to be able to play with a few friends, not a multiplayer, so to speak, on the traditional sense, but just a way for you and a couple of your friends to go onto a planet and have the same experience together.
Yeah, I think that's
that would be
also
so
one of the most
awesome.
requested things.
But that's what I'm
See,
looking for.
It has to be. And a place so big, like you want your friends to be there.
Right.
This place is huge.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know. The big thing for me, like the one thing I really, really want to see is multi-cruise ships. Like, I'm going to keep asking that from day one. I hope they hear me one day. But I want at least like 2-man cruise ships. Like that, nothing would be cooler than like you and your friend just exploring, traveling, like you land the ship, you open the back door, you take your little buggy out and then go exploring. Like that, I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but...
Cobra, I sent you a secret message to your Skype, just in case you don't want other people to hear that, if that's a secret or not.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Luke? How are you? Or
I'm doing good, man. What's going on, man?
Not much, dude. Not much. We're just sitting here talking about the features that could possibly be implemented into the game between now and June 2016. Captain, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for coming on the show, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure of mine, dude. Trust me. So we're talking about the features, things that could be added in between now, and 8 months. So what are some of the features that you guys think are most requested, and what would you like to see?
You can go, Captain.
Okay. Well, something I would like to see is, I remember hearing something about like how they're going to have their own periodic table and how you can make your own pretty much elements or whatever. I would love to see someone create an atomic bomb in No Man's Sky.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, I'm going to make that my goal. I'm going to go to the center of the universe and blow it up.
Well, you know that like the Heridium, and there's that one picture where they were showing the IGN first, where it talked about something was viciously flammable or something like that, or combustible or something. So the resources that we get, they are combustible, I guess. Dangerous. It mentioned it was dangerous to move. So that who knows what you can make, and maybe you could make an atomic bomb.
Oh my God,
I already
what
see it now. It's going to be 3 a.m. and I'm just going to watch my screen right. It goes so bright I'll go blind.
This guy's gonna
be like
destroy
a
a
mad
whole
scientist.
planet. It's gonna be a genocide of little bunnies, little space bugs.
Can make a black hole. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
See, that's interesting. That sounds really cool.
See, I mean, for me, like, people aren't really talking about, because you have a whole universe. I've watched Star Trek here, so gonna nerd out here for a second. But like, how cool would it be to go into like a void and you get some like crazy alien creature coming out, which, you know, is procedurally generated, so it's unfathomable, and it just comes out and eats your ship or something, or you got to do something crazy to get away from it, you know? I don't know. That's the kind of features I would like to see, or, you know, experience in the game. It's not really a feature.
Are you talking something like a like space whale or something like a space monster or something?
Yeah, no, that's it. I guess like something to the effect of like just a sci-fi-esque monsters that you wouldn't really think of.
I mentioned an animal a very long time ago in one of my shows where I said I think it would be cool to have like an animal that was so freaking large that it kind of like had its own atmosphere around its skin. So if you were to be on the animal, it would almost be like you were on a planet. And it was actually just like some planet eater just going around and just eating up planets.
That would be awesome.
Or maybe not planets, maybe just eating up ships.
Every time I think of like space animals, like when I hear space whales, like the first thing that comes to my mind is like Star Wars when they land on that asteroid and there's like a gigantic space worm in the asteroid. Like that would be so cool to see. Like you just land on an asteroid, you're doing your thing mining, if you can mine asteroids. And then this gigantic worm just comes out of it. Like, what?
That would be awesome. I wish there was gravity. Like, I wish there was more to do with like mass. It sucks you can't land on a planet and experience like maybe more dense planets and more, you know, planets that I guess the gravity would be less and you could jump higher. I wish there was more to do with gravity in No Man's Sky, because he just said that, you know, everything sort of just when it's procedurally generated, it runs sort of off of its own function, so you don't really get mass.
Well, I've played games that had like realistic gravity, realistic planet, you know, gravitational pulls and stuff like that. And I tell you, it's fun on a different level. It's not something that I would really like to see in No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky is like so instant. You know, it's like it plays like a movie does, and to have a game to where you have all these technical issues, you know, getting into a planet's orbit and then breaking through its atmosphere, and it would, I think it would hurt a game like No Man's Sky. But it would be cool for a game like maybe Elite Dangerous. Star Citizen.
Right. I guess maybe I didn't mean to make it so like landing a ship with actual like you know, gravity. I guess maybe that would be a terrible idea. But like, you know, Half-Life 2, the gravity gun. I wish there was more to do with, you know, maybe if there was that gun in the game, that'd be badass. But you know, something where like you could experience that more on the planet when you actually land. And that's not necessarily like a difficult feature that you would have to, like, it would take away from, like you said, the flow of things, but like you would experience it more, I guess.
So you're talking about like doing some of them little high jumps on a planet?
Yes, exactly. You could.
That
like,
would be kind of cool.
Or crash right into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would have too much mass, so I don't know, you just fly right into it.
Just
you know,
watch
it's a really
trader
small
ships
feature.
crash.
There's a really small feature that I wish that, like, from what I've seen, I don't know if you can or not, but like, I wish you could just sit in the cockpit. Like, you know, there's no like.
That's
Like, I feel like it's either you're landing and getting out, or you're getting in and taking off. Like, I wish you could just sit there and be like, yeah, this is, you know what I mean? Just like take it in.
I'm not sure if he's doing that just to, you know, demonstrate the game, but when Ryan played it, you know, which I love to see Ryan from IGN play the game, because he didn't have the finesse of a coder. He didn't know the game through and through like Sean Murray did. So we were able to see a noob playing the game. And when he landed, it immediately ejected him out. When he got into the ship, it immediately took off. So that is definitely, it's not a game breaker for me at all. But like you said,
no, not at all.
I wish, you know, it didn't just eject you as soon as you landed.
It would just be really, you know, it's a small feature. It's nothing that's gonna break it for me, but it would just be nice to sit in there and just take it in. You know, you could just land right by like a cliff and just look out and just see the world.
Also,
Does anybody?
sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Right. Also, did anybody take a look into the super formula that they're using when it comes to their programming?
Yes, that is very
yeah.
interesting. Actually, I had to look up on that because I didn't know what the hell it was.
Like, I was looking into it, and if everything's running off the super formula, then we're going to be seeing planets that are square. We're going to see planets that go inside out. We're just because it's not just going to be ones and zeros. It's going to be 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. May even go hexadecimal.
Can you elaborate on this? I haven't heard about it. A little bit.
Well, the super formula equation is like a very complex equation, much higher than hexadecimal. Whether or not they simplified it, which they probably did for the whole aspect of it being gaming, but say they didn't, you will have a code where a shape could go inside out, or it won't even be spherical; it'll be a square.
It's kind of cool.
In fact, you could probably even have you could have a sun that's an actual star shape.
Yeah, basically, it's just gonna make things more alien-like. It's gonna give the ability to just you see something and it's just like it's not possible. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna create crazy environments.
Right. That's pretty cool.
But to see an entire planet just completely go off, like I wouldn't be surprised to find a Mobius strip of planet.
So, like, talking about the vehicles, I don't know if anybody has mentioned this yet, but is it possible to have a vehicle that also is like submersive? Can it go underwater, or is there like land cruisers? That would be something I would really like.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I forgot what it was. What does he say again? He says at the moment, no, you can't take your ships underwater.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting because he says at the moment. So
yeah, he said you have a suit for that. He actually said it was a bit weird. But and if you look at some of their what would you call it? Like influences, the things that they have hanging on the walls to like help them design the game. Pictures of random things and ships and planets. On that wall, there's pictures of four-wheeled vehicles. So it's something that they were definitely considering early in development, and maybe that's one of the things they're holding back. But it's not the most requested. I haven't seen a whole lot of people asking about it, but it's definitely a possibility, seeing that it is hanging on their wall.
See, that's surprising to me because if you think about exploring an entire planet, I mean, yes, you've got a ship, but I find it would be way more convenient to have something that, I mean, when you get into a cave, you're going to possibly want something that moves a little quicker other than your own two legs,
Right, exactly. But
I remember hearing him say you're going to have to upgrade your suit in order to go deeper down into water.
Yes, yeah, you do have to upgrade it to go deeper. But imagine you have a four-wheeled car or vehicle, and you're driving. You're like, it's no big deal. I can drive back. And then you destroy it. And you're like hours away from your ship.
that's when the game gets good. Right
exactly.
there. It turns,
Time for the role play.
Going to the console.
May as well make a series out of it, The Long Road Back.
It turns from No Man's Sky into freaking, what's that, Gravity, real quick.
Long Man's Road.
Oh, man.
Also, before we continue, I just wanted to point out, No Man's Sky is on Steam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been there for, 4 or 5 months, maybe even longer.
I haven't noticed until today.
It was right after E3. But yeah, that's really cool. And I asked a bunch of people questions about that, and they said that they had to have the publisher had to do that, not just somebody on Steam. So it's definitely something that Hello Games actually did.
All right, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Another big thing I want to see is Easter eggs. I'm sure there's going to be some very interesting Easter eggs in No Man's Sky.
Exactly. And a lot of people argue with me when I bring up Easter eggs. They're like, no, it's all procedurally generated. Well, exactly. That's the reason why we're going to see Easter eggs, because you're going to come across a space station that accidentally looks like the Death Star, and to me, that's an Easter egg. That's something cool to find, you know, that necessarily wasn't put there by Sean or anybody in Hello Games, but it just exists because of the procedural generation.
Can you imagine a planet full of xenomorphs? Oh my god. I would leave and never come back. That would be Planet Nope.
The interesting thing about Easter eggs is they could intentionally, include Easter eggs in the game, but not in the form that we would think of. I think it would be more in like item descriptions or things like that.
Yeah, and even consider like the old trading post video. I consider that like an Easter egg, because if you really look at that trailer, and then go back and you look at Oblivion, and it's almost identical to the the house or whatever you want to call it on there. And it blew my mind when I put them side by side and just looked at them like, wow.
Definitely were influenced in some type of way by Oblivion.
Yeah.
Open world.
Going back to the wildlife we'll see, I really hope like there's something goes wrong with like the random generation and species just start killing themselves for no reason. I would love to just see that and be just scared out of my mind.
Did you hear about the story when Raffi went to Hello Games and he was sitting next to Grant, and he was working on a way to have like these hippo type creatures spawn in caves. Like he wanted these creatures to spawn in caves. So later on in the day, Raffi was still sitting there, and Grant had dove down into the ocean, and he saw a cave down there. He's like, oh, cool, let's go look at this. When he goes into the cave, they found piles of these dead hippo creatures that had died. They died because they spawned in the cave underwater.
Drowned.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's a secret lore behind it.
They did it on purpose. It was a genocide.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. There's going to be things that we're going to find that they did not foresee happening, and I think those things are going to be the coolest things to find.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So a lot of the sounds are procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be just badass to land on a planet and like the animals are like some sort of species that like make, I don't know, even like musical sounds, like almost just procedurally generated.
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly, man. And,
Electric guitar bird.
and did you ever hear the when they were making the procedural sounds, they showed you how they did it, and they were just yelling like right? Well, what if you come across an animal and the procedural generation never changed the original format? So there's animals walking up to you going, yeah!
I really hope that somewhere in that procedural sounds, like one of the people doing the editing accidentally said, oh my fucking god, while it was working. So that you come across an animal that just starts saying that every time they see you.
I would be terrified. Imagine you're on the dark side of a planet. Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Like, oh my god, what is that?
Oh man.
This game's going to be fun, man, in more ways than we actually know.
And the modding's just going to make it better.
Exactly.
There's one thing that, like, a lot of people request for, but, like, on a planetary level, like, I really want to see more things on a galactic level. For instance, like, I want to be able to warp into a solar system and see two planets colliding just because.
Yes.
Like, that is epic to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're watching the birth of something new, I guess.
And then want to swoop through and steal all the resources that fly out.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I feel like when was it? I think it was the PSX. Like the trailer, it almost looks like in one of the trailers there's like a planet running into a sun. You know what I'm talking about, Cobra? The red background one.
Yep, it did. It ran right into the sun. But at the same time, we have to. When I uploaded that video talking about that, I made sure that everyone knew that it was speculation, because that he said there's there are going to be new visuals and new gameplay. So that could have been just an artistic rendition, because we did hunt down the guy that did a lot of that artwork,
Yeah, I remember Brent found them, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that could possibly not be in the game, but it looked like it was. Who knows?
I want to
Like,
see the
I-
planets with rings. Oh my god.
Oh,
He's already-
dude.
He's confirmed planets with rings. He said pretty much if you see it on the sci-fi book cover, it's in the game.
Even
That's
gas
gonna be
planets.
something cool.
Even what?
Even gas planets, like planets you can't even land on.
I don't think there is gas planets.
No, he said that that's one of the things that are not going to be in the game because people are going to be like, well, you can't land on it, so what's the purpose? I think that it's something that should be in the game because you could use it to scoop up some of that, the gas could be a resource,
Or you could fly your ship, like if you had a ship that could maybe you needed to upgrade it so it could handle that. So you could have valuable resources in there, fly into it and search around and, possibly get lost in a giant gas planet.
Yeah.
Just fly right through it and blow it up. Another thing I'd like to see are rogue planets. I would just like to fly out and then all of a sudden just hit a completely pitch black planet by mistake.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
See, that's something that's really interesting to me is the fact that you could fly in between solar systems manually and the fact that there could be something there. That's
Yes. That's what I was talking about. Like if you had the balls to just fly into a dark area, just to be like, okay, what if there's anything here? I would hope the programmers would go, okay, somebody decided to fly in this really dark space. Let's put something interesting here. And it could be so outlandish too, because it'd be rare for somebody to want to fly out there. I don't know. I think that would be awesome.
Someone's definitely going to do it though. I feel like there's going to be more people exploring the universe and actually trying to make it to the center. People
I don't know.
are just going to get so
I feel
caught
like
up.
I think you're right. Maybe when people start playing it, but everybody seems to be so motivated by a goal. I feel like that's his number one. Everybody asks him that, what the hell do we do in this? And he's like, well, you do what you want. But we did kind of give you a thing you can do, and I feel like people need that. So I think that might be the more popular option.
Yeah, it's going to be my goal to blow up everything.
The thing that makes this game hard to describe that is that for me personally, I could see myself heading to the center and then I find a nice little blue planet. I'm like, oh, blue planet. And then now I'm stuck in the solar system. I feel like that's going to happen to me more times than not. I'm just going to be trying to get to the center and then all of a sudden oh, damn it, I got to go here. It's a red star. I got to stop here, man.
Yeah, but you'll probably still head in one direction though, randomly, if you will. You'll still go towards the center, because I think that's how I'm going to explore. Is I want to be random with it, but I still kind of want to keep heading that way. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to be the first.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If that pink star is to the left of where I need to go, I might have to go to that pink star. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to aim for those. Every random colored star, that's where I'm going.
All right, guys, we're probably going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I do thank every one of you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Cobra.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
man.
Have a good night and stay safe out there.
You too.
See ya.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Stay safe, get a lizard.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out to the show. I do appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys so much for being here. I owe you guys a lot. Thank you.